Welcome back, folks, to Pillars of Eternity. Let's see what all we got here. I've dealt with the dragon and its young. The nest is now safe for 100 follows. Will willingly grant me favors. Now, I think I've done everything. Ash Druid and its and are both dead. I pray to rest to receive my reward. Return to us. Return. I think that's all of them, right? Yep. Let us return. I think there's multiple ways to go down, too.
Eh? Ready, Watcher.
Following your lead.
Eh?
Let's go ahead and... Since we are pretty injured,
Yes?
let's filtrage each other. Okay.
Ready, Watcher.
Yes?
I'm ready.
Hey.
Okay, we're pretty good there. Warriors are actually very stout, surprisingly. Is there anything else here? Looking. I think we'll be alright. There we go. Alright. Cool beans, guys. Let's return. Any armor, suit, shield, or suit can be enchanted by clicking the enchantment button, which we need to do. We need to enchant our stuff. Now we got two things that we can enchant. I'm definitely going to enchant my armor and shield. Might increase my weapon too. Let's check this out. So let's click on my main character. Let's go ahead and enchant. Superb. Still can't increase nothing. Okay, how about my shield? Enchant. Quality superb. Still need that. Okay. Weapon. Enchant. Enchant. Quality. Let's go ahead and make this exceptional. There we go. Ugh, the brains is what's... I have Threk brains. Can we make anything else exceptional? Quality, well, superb. We have several weapons here. Fine. Sounds good to me. Chance. Let's go ahead and increase fine. Chance. Speed. Damaging 1. Pilgrim's Crown. Okay, that's good enough. Alright, let's go ahead and get the God's blessing. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Maybe we should rest. Stealth skill is used to avoid detection while scouting mode. Classes like Rogue and Rangers start with a bonus in stealth. Think of a tanky rogue. I wonder what that would be like. Let's see here. Let's talk to this one. Pray to her. Pray again. The vision of a white plane emerges. Driving winds return in chaos and whirling snow. Something moves in the center of the blizzard, prodding but relentless. As the snowstorm gets closer, you see a colossal, that's slow as a glacier. Its shaggy white hair is mad with frost, but beneath it ribs like a cage, like a ship frame protruding. It's the beast of winter. A man indicates almost naked, hundles in the beast's legs. His body is scored with lash marks, and his nose and ears have been carved from his face. His black eyes pierce the whiteout. Archon stops and stands before you, enveloping you in a violent blizzard that surrounds it. Though its mouth does not move, the beast speaks in a deep, thunderous voice.
A crack in the ice, a fissure in a glacier. I showed you the frost-hewn breach that you might seal it, but you pried it wider for the sake of the Glom felon, whose souls I had not yet begun to hew away. For all things there is a season. You brought them to winter before their time.
But you're the god of entropy. I gave their souls entropy.
Entropy is chiseling ice and hammering wind. Generations of erosion. It is not rushed for the impatience of mortals.
Yet he explores lost, forgotten places. The unknown holds no terror for him, and his feet do not shrink from trackless paths. If any could do what is required, it is this Watcher.
The scarred man snickers. The world shudders beneath you, the great crack echoes in the white expansion. Ice splits in your feet and you waves lap over through the rift.
The Watcher seeks something long lost. What is it you search for?
Understanding of who I was and what my past means now.
Your past is one of loss and sorrow. The key to it is Theos.
What?
A man who has been forgotten to you for many lifetimes.
Okay.
Yet there is a greater plot at work here, Watcher. Theos acts not for himself. He is the Burned Queen's quiet slave. A master of secrets and schemes.
Burned Queen? Sounds like a dragon.
Theos is a winter gale, unseen by the world even while he carves and shapes it. Woodica directs him, sending him to wipe her enemies from Eora.
That makes sense.
And animancy as well. He would see those secrets lost, the knowledge forgotten.
Of course. If I don't make it through this, assuming it's not too much to ask, please tell the dukes that I did for them.
And he would see his mistress grow fat on the essence of thousands. For her, he has harvested the unborn souls of the Deerwood.
That makes sense. What does Woodica want with these souls?
To consume them, to collect her evaporating power, rebuilding what the turning ages have stripped from her.
She would reclaim her status like an island of silt dredged from the sea.
Interesting.
With this fresh, raw essence, Woodica will seize power over those gods and kith who have refused to acknowledge her authority. The ultimate act of vengeance.
Why would Theos hate animancy?
He believes that some knowledge is best lost to mortals.
More importantly, Woodica despises it, and he yields to the will of the exiled queen in all things.
What now?
Theos has removed these souls from the cycle. They are ice melting in the sun. Let them fade.
Let them forget this world and be forgotten by it.
Take the souls she so desires and grind them into dust. Let her see her careful schemes thoroughly ruined.
Okay. Last one sounds a little nastier than the other two. For several seconds, the waves clash as ice and stands silently stirring.
It is the destiny of all things to crumble and join the chaos that follows this world. Some seek it willingly, as you have seen.
To mingle, roiled and stirred by the tides of the universe. It is not an unkind fate.
Why do you oppose Woodica?
She desires to order chaos and shackle the agents of change in the world. Under her, all things would remain static and frozen according to her laws.
Even now, she only barely keeps the pact of the gods to leave the affairs of Kith in mortal hands. She moves in Theos where she cannot move directly.
And so we call on you to do the same. Such are the schemes of the Queen that was.
You give these souls the very faith you sought to deny Prangalorms?
I am the beast of winter. I neither speed nor alter my path for the whims and desires of Kith. I take souls at the time of my choosing, be it mote by mote or in a sudden tempest of chaos.
These souls, they have already forgotten their place in this world. They have been lost to existence. Let them be memorialized and mourned for an age and then forgotten entirely.
I'll see Theos and the sun and shadows.
When you reach the burial isle, we will send lost souls to guide you through the pit. This is our gift to you. What you do after you face Theos will be your choice. But we would have you set the stolen essence adrift.
Okay.
And whether you would heed us or no, understand that our end comes to all things eventually. Help us achieve it, and we shall reward you now with a power to rival Theos's.
But do not choose lightly. We forget nothing, least of all a betrayal.
I would hear what the other gods have to say first.
Do not wait forever. We wait, but Theos does not.
Theos continues towards you, showering in your binding, deafening in the snowstorm. You experience a dizzying acceleration of disorientation, obvious to the landscape around you and even the reality of your own body. You hear a noise and the shrieks, screeching and tackling, and then it recedes with everything else. It reappears in the distance, trudging away from you, and the whiteout follows him. And as the vision of snow fades, it leaves in its wake the flagstone of Tirith Enbal. Interesting. Prayer to Beth. As you pray to Beth, you find yourself on the road, squinting in the distance. The usher, gatekeeper of the shroud. Not here for us, I hope. I'm not done just yet. Behind you is a woman, her skin milky against her black hair. She wears a suit of armor so dark that it could suck in the light from the stars. The road winds up a mountain behind her.
A toll, traveler.
Pay the Pennant Knight. You drop a few coins in her hands and she closes her fist around it. You instantly feel a small weight added to your purse. The Lord of this road demands a toll of all, but he lends generosity, and all might travel his roads again. Beneath her, the usher grins his lipless smile and waits. The road bores into the mountains, and you find yourself in a gigantic cavern. The ceiling curved up and away, and it's dotted in moisture. And at a distance, the shining beads look like stars, clusters and scattered on constellation. The usher and Palin Knight leads you up the trail carved into the edge of the cavern. Two identical cave mouths wait up ahead, and you follow the usher to one of them. Standing in the edge, gazing down, you see an endless, ever-changing plain bisecting by roads. Only then do you realize that you no longer are on a road. As you follow the road to the point where it disappears below you, you realize that you're standing in one of the eye sockets of a massive skull. The usher points to the road. Archdruidus appears before you. He's just as you remember him, stern and smooth skin. Yet with each step along the road he grows, swelling in blood and essence. His heavy steps become slower and slower until he stops altogether, his disintended body filled with path completely.
You met a dwarf traveling this road. What did you do?
It is the destiny of all mortals to die, and I fulfilled the will of the gods. No, I stood in this place for too long. I merely set him moving again. Penalized flesh is taut against her skull. She nods once, barely dripping her chin.
Life is kinetic. Forward motion. 100 beginnings and endings nested within 1,000,000 more.
As her piston's swollen body ruptures, the effects is like a dam bursting. Ghostly figures, as hazed and indistinctive wisps of smoke, continue along the cleared path. Some tremble and rush along, the others amble and drift, but all continue forward. The usher directs your attention to another figure moving down the path. This time you see high often Vinny. As she follows the road, her movements become slow and erratic. Her legs creak with each step, and her feet grow long, thick roots that bury into the ground. She finally stops, rooted in place.
You found a tree that had lived for centuries. Its roots were deep, and its boughs sheltered many. Why did you cut it down?
It was unnatural. It couldn't sustain itself. Trees don't belong in the road. I thought I was clear that if I cleared the tree, maybe the Lord of the Road would grant me a boon. It was a parasite. While the branches sheltered others, the roots sucked them dry.
All draw their life's energy from the deaths of others. This is why all must remain part of the cycle of death and rebirth. No creature may be a closed loop unto itself.
True enough. And his body petrifies below, and the shimmering leaves of her hair blow down the path. You seek another who has lived this life on the brink of cycle. He sits on the inside of a wheel and observing its revolutions. With each life he plucks from the stream and returns to it intact. Why do you hunt Theos? Theos has entrapped thousands of souls for Boudica. I've come to stop him and give her absolute power. Theos has entrapped thousands of souls.
If you know this much, then another god has already spoken with you, and given you half of the answer.
Correct. Theos serves Boudica. She deserves an escape from her own cycle. Power without decline. Theos has removed thousands of souls from the cycle so that their essence might empower her. You must stop him. You must return them to the cycle. What end would you serve to send the souls back into the cycle? Why does Moon need Ellen's help, and why do you need mine, for that matter? Gods guide souls through the cycle of death and rebirth, but Eros is the domain of mortals. We stand aside, wait and countermate. Were we one to alter the ties of kith, all would follow. We would tip the world from its axis. That is why Boudica directs the mortal to do her bidding, and why Aini would stop Theos. It must be a mortal as well. What end would it serve me to send the souls back to the cycle? Tending to these souls as a quality of sustainability, Watcher, and maintaining the natural order of the world and ebb and flow of cycle. Cycles are cages and surely there's a better alternative. If there's metal in the souls of these souls, perhaps it is better to destroy them. Couldn't they be returned to the Hollowborn? As battered, burning things, do you mix scour wine with flesh. The kindness you seek lies in giving them a new beginning, not the shackle them to this life. I think I understand what you're telling me. If Theos is smelling these souls, perhaps it would be better to destroy them. I think I understand what you're telling me. The usher gestures to the road and says, I only show you the motions of the universe, Watcher. And I'll see what this has to do with me. Theos plans builds a dam to divert water from a stream. The flow of thousands more will shape the world you live in, Watcher. Let's go to the sun and shadow now.
No mortal can survive the descent into the pit. But there are souls on the burial isle that are pledged to me. I will grant them to you, and they shall bear you down safely, as well as light the way beyond.
A multitude appear as the other side, and their voices kick up dust as they make their way towards you. Return them to the Cycle, Watcher. Promise that you will, and I will give you the power of benefit of Champion of Death. Accept my favor, however, and I will demand a decision as your due. I collect from all mortals. I would like to hear what the other gods have to say first. Do not delay long, Watcher. What Theos seeks to do cannot be undone, even by the turning of the wheel. The usher points you. Trying to find yourself in there. Decks collected from bandits. Woohoo! How are we doing on? Yeah, let's go ahead and start on that. All right. Pray to her. You kneel. While you pray, you feel the space along your body shift and melt, and you find yourself in a vision of a mountaintop temple. Yet you see neither worshiper nor dragon, but a tree. Its limbs wrapped around the perimeter of the temple, tapered with twigs and branches in all sizes and angles. They seem too long and too numerous to be held in the meager trunk, but they hold steady in the breeze. A single sparrow lands. Whisper to the bird. You whistle the first tune that pops into your head. The sparrow blinks its beady eyes and hops closer to you along the branches. It bobs its tiny head and opens its beak in a rich, trifling melody that spills forth from a song of coarse birds. A massive flock descends upon a thunderous of wings and whooping, screeching, chirping calls. They fill the boughs with the tree of thousands, birds of every shape, size, and color nestle next to one another. To be honest, I really can't stand birds. A breeze ripples through the air, a limb's back crack in a strange, gentle rhyme. A few hundred of the birds flitter from their branches, forming a brilliant vagrant of flock, and follow the trees. As they meet and swoop in unison, you catch a glimpse of someone looking back at you, cloaked in the furry of feathers. Look there, a mantle of feathers. We are in the court of birds, and there stands the Sky Mother.
You journeyed to my temple and rid it of the dragon. Now my faithful may return, singing their joy to the skies and praising me through their creation.
Life is a creation and celebration. I'm glad to have served you in this. The breeze blows through the trees. A dove tucks its head in front and watches you.
Glad because you seek to protect life, or because you seek a patron. And yet you have proven yourself with this task. I would tell you of another.
I already know that Theos has gone to Shadow to strengthen Utica for thousands of souls. The birds return to the tree and nest along the leaves, carrying the gods.
Then you have earned the favor of another. But stopping Theos will not heal the Deerwood. You must guide the trapped souls back to the bodies they were stolen from. Hollow-born children whose eyes have never seen the sun.
Could restore them, give their families hymns of joy after years of lament. Peace and restoration give purpose to the suffering. There is no meaning, no redemption in pain that does not lead to fulfillment. Symmetric demands that a great rejoicing follows suffering such as this. I'm not sure if it's possible truly to undo the harm that Theos has caused. Surely those wounds can be healed, or don't you think a long absence would be overcome? Perhaps the years cannot be forgotten, and for some perhaps it is already too late. But if you could restore even one soul, kindle one spark of life, raise one voice in joy, it would be worth it. Perhaps it would be better if better to allow these souls to find new lives. How can they continue to another when they have not fully lived this life? To pass them along with another, now as a cutting stanza from a poem, a verse from a song. Thank you.
When you reach the burial isle, you will find souls there that I have granted reprieve for their sins. I give these to you, for only they can bear you to safety on your journey down. And when you face Theos and the rotting fruits of his endeavors, remember the conversation we have had. In that moment you will have power rivaling a god's, and after it, you will live in the world that you have chosen. Choose restoration, Watcher. Return the souls to the bodies they were stolen from. Swear to me that you will do this, and I shall give you power to make even Woodica quake. I can be merciful and terrible, Watcher.
I want to hear what the other gods have to say first.
Wait. I'm not done with you.
Who is this to speak of anger? I'm going to say nothing.
It's not often that any of our kind get the chance to speak to their... What should I call you? My mother? Father? Those words seem to fall short and yet be too generous, given our history.
You are angry with me.
What did you expect? Should I be happy? To be like this? To live like this? What kind of creator does this to her creation and abandons it in a world this cruel?
And should I have plucked you from your home, wrapped you in my wings, and brought you to a nest like this one? Some tranquil and harmless place far from the war or chance and battle dances you love so well. Tell me what you want.
All I've ever wanted from any of your kind is to take some responsibility. Any responsibility for what you've done. To us. To every one of the children you've abandoned.
You are a song of ferocity and one of love as well. I hear your fervor and rage, and it is music. Your powers and valor leave a trail like a tapestry upon the world. I would not damper your song, even with the comfort of my wing.
What does that mean? Come back here!
Say nothing.
I should have known I'd never get any answers out of her. I'm done.
Servant of death. Let's talk to this guy. Oh, talk to this one. Did we talk to her already? You hear what the other gods have to say? Yep. Okay, there we go. So, talk to him, talk to him, talk to him. Okay, let's talk to this one. Pray to Gawain. This is the one that I'm thinking, the Helm constellation. You kneel a shift, must before the hell's back. Something bears this rise. Gleam wipes your bloody hand, lips curled into the look of a smile. The beast looks back at you as it is fixed in glowing eyes. Its muzzles retreat along the point. His man stood, broad, muscular shoulders draped with furs. He holds a glint knife in your neck and grins. revealing a row of long, pointed teeth. It's one way to make an introduction, I suppose.
The lioness reigns still, and soon her cubs will rise. Why did you strike the bear down?
Soul's cubs will be mightier still one day, and the legacy will be protected, even from worthy contenders. If Oros could not seize his victory, he did not deserve it.
Worthiness is proven in conflict.
Yes.
Might grappling with might. Flesh tears, bones break, and the ones that mend are stronger still. Blood mixes, and the worthier substance rises to the top. And you have proven worthy.
Yes. He lets out a howl and rings through the air. He lowers his head, puffs in steam rising from his panting mouth. Twigs crunch and branches snap. Ground shivers in a weight of pack, prowling footsteps. A dozen beasts, bears, wolves, long-fanged cats. Stalk out of the undergrowth, their matching ember eyes fast on you. Changeable fellow, isn't he? This is why I prefer fishing. As the beasts encircle you, their master raises to his feet. Even the largest of the bears can only reach his brown, muscular-knotted shoulders. You stand mindful of the ring of predators surrounding you.
You sought and won the favor of Galloway. What new prey do you now pursue?
Must stop Theos from feeding thousand souls to Utica. Sunburst of heat exhales from his face, and even as you turn away, a flash of light sears your vision through your eyelids. Look back, you see a woman in full plate standing next to Gwyneth.
So you know. No doubt one of the others has already enlisted you, and with a different purpose. Nevertheless, hear us.
Okay.
Track Theos. Follow the trail he has left for you, and corner him in sun and shadow.
Okay.
You must stop him before he empowers Utica.
Okay.
And if you do, you will have a different decision to make.
Experience with superior officers tell me that this decision has right and wrong answers as far as a lot of you are concerned.
Souls were ripped from the world, ripe and full and pulsing with essence. Scatter them like bones to a pack of dogs. Their essence will strengthen the souls of the Deerwood. Let the remains of the dead feed the survivors.
Why would you feed the lost soul's essence to the rest of Deerwood?
To breed strength. Power is born from the mixing of essence and blood.
What Theos did cannot be undone. Thousands of lives have changed, and thousands more have ended because of his actions. But transformation gives purpose to trial.
And improvement is the goal of all Kith. Long lives, prosperous futures, stronger minds and bodies. Strengthening those who remain will help repair the damage that Theos has done to the Deerwood.
If Utica can accomplish this, then perhaps she deserves her victory. I don't see why I should care. If Utica can accomplish this, then perhaps she deserves her victory. The bear on Gwyneth's side raises his hind legs. It falls back on his fore. The ground shaking thud. Gwyneth points his chin-flint dagger
A
at you.
victory that leaves her ruler of all. No room for conflict, no struggle, not even between the gods.
Interesting.
Be careful what you wish for, mortal. Utica's ways are regressive. Her laws never change, her authority never ebbs, and she never forgets a slight.
Interesting.
Utica would crush the Deerwood simply out of vengeance for the rebellion against Adir, her favored. She would stamp out Animancers, Godslayers from the Saints' War, and anyone else she viewed as heretical or dangerous.
I don't see, I've got to find Theos.
And when you descend the pit to sun in shadow, you can count on our assistance to see you safely through. as I hope we can count on yours when you reach the bottom.
There are many souls.
There are many souls upon the burial isle that are sworn to serve us. They belong to you now, and they shall guide your descent.
Okay. I've danced to this tune before. You've counted on us to deal with whatever's down there. We can count on you to take credit for it later. The beast growls relentless, pawing the ground and eyeing you with renewed interest. The bear sniffs the ground next to your leg. One toe soaks into a circle, its ember eyes glowing. Hurls his knife between your feet, striking it sinking it into its handle. He raises an empty hand.
Hunt him, mortal. And when you stop him, let the souls he has captured feed the deer wood.
Strengthen the souls of those who remain. Prepare them to face the challenges that will follow. Pledge that you will do this, and we will grant you a power fit for the finest warrior who ever lived.
I kind of like that idea.
Betray us, and my beast shall track you down. Our allegiance is not to be accepted and cast aside.
I pledge that I shall convert the captured souls into essence to strengthen the deer wood.
The bargain is struck, Watcher. Keep your part.
Gwen lunges for you and sinks a hatchet into your chest. You cry out, but the pain passes quickly. Energy and power seeps through your wounds, and Gwen withdraws the fleshy kit again to contain something warm and pulsing with power. Gwen's boon. The vision vanishes in an instant, returning you to where burning candles replace the glowing eyes of the Gwen beasts. Awesome. And we've completed all the god's tasks. Very cool. Let's keep going. Oh, look at the time. Trying to think of anything else that we need to do. Everybody has their issues. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. I will see you people in the next video, and have a good one. Bye.